You hatch from an egg somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. You're tiny and almost see-through, drifting alone in open water with no parent nearby and nothing around you but more eggs, most of them already empty. The current pushes you sideways before you can do anything about it, rotating your body slowly with your tail dragging behind you. You try to push forward, but your muscles aren't strong enough yet to hold a straight line, so the current keeps pulling you off course and you spin again. Then a larger larva drifts into you from the side, bumping your body hard enough to send you tumbling. You right yourself and go completely still, because something even larger is passing close above you, its body cutting through the water with its tail sweeping in wide arcs. It doesn't stop. Once it's gone, you start moving again. You push upward, trying to get away from the open space below you. Then a small shrimp larva crosses your path, and without thinking, you snap at it with your mouth. But your jaw is still too small and too soft, so it slips past and you miss completely. A few hours pass and you're still drifting, still being pushed sideways every time you try to hold your position. Then a cluster of eggs nearby starts hatching all at once, with dozens of larvae spilling out and scattering in every direction. 2 of them push straight into you, and the impact sends you tumbling downward before you manage to stop yourself. You hang there for a moment, with your tail curling slightly as you hold your place. You're smaller than almost everything around you, your jaw can't bite anything yet, and you have no way of knowing how deep the water goes below you. But that's going to change. You're a few weeks old now and your fangs have started to come in. They're already too long to fit inside your mouth, so they curve back toward your own head with your jaw hanging slightly open whether you want it to or not. You're not in control of them yet, but they're there and they're yours. Your stomach is empty and you need to eat, so you start moving through the water with your eyes tracking everything that drifts past. Then you spot it, a small shrimp hovering just ahead of you. You push forward and lunge, but your fangs catch the water at the wrong angle, so the shrimp spins sideways and gets away. You turn and try again, this time adjusting your body lower before you strike, and this time your fangs close around it. That's your first real catch. But before you can swallow, something larger comes in from the side with its body moving fast and its own fangs already open. It's another viperfish, bigger than you, and it pulls the shrimp straight out from between your teeth before you can do anything about it. You back away and hold your position, watching it go, so you start again. You move further along and find another shrimp drifting on its own, and this time there's nothing nearby to take it from you, so you line up your angle carefully and strike. Your fangs go through it cleanly, and you swallow it whole. That's your first real meal. You're starting to figure out how your body works, and the fangs are only part of it. Along your sides, small patches of your skin have started to glow on and off in slow pulses. You're not doing it on purpose yet, but soon you will be, and when you learn to control it, everything about the way you hunt is going to change. You're a few months old now, and the glowing patches along your sides have fully switched on, including a long spine above your head with a glowing tip at the end. You didn't grow it on purpose, but it's there, and you're starting to figure out what it does. You need to eat, so you hold your body still in the water and start pulsing the tip of the spine in slow, even flashes. A small fish moves toward it with its body angled straight at the glow, getting closer with each pass. You wait, holding your position and keeping the pulses steady. Then, when it gets close enough, you snap forward with your fangs open and drive them through its body before it can pull away. That's the first time the lure has worked, and it works completely. But then a lancet fish appears from further up in the water, with its tall fin cutting forward as it comes straight toward your light. It's much bigger than you, and it's not coming for the prey, it's coming for the source. You need to get away, so you kill your light instantly and drop your body downward, pushing with your tail to get below it as fast as you can. The lancet fish passes overhead with its mouth opening and closing, trying to find where the glow went. But there's nothing to track anymore, so after a few passes it moves on. You hold your position and wait, with your spine pulled flat and your body still. Then, once it's gone, you bring the lure back up and start pulsing again. A different fish moves toward it almost right away, and this time nothing interrupts you. You've worked out how to bring prey to you instead of chasing it, but the deeper water below you has things in it that your lure can't fool, and sooner or later you're going to run into one of them. You're 1 year old now, and your body has grown enough that the water column you've been living in isn't giving you enough food anymore. You need more, so you do something you've never done before. You start rising, following a column of small fish and crustaceans moving upward through the water toward the upper ocean layer. The journey up takes a long time, and you keep your lure dark and your body tight as you go. Then a mahi-mahi cuts across your path with its body turning hard and its mouth already open, snapping at you from the side. Its teeth catch the edge of your tail and you pull hard in the other direction, twisting away before it can get a proper grip. You drop down fast to get out of its path, pushing with your tail and changing direction twice before it stops following. You don't make it to the upper layer that time. A few days later, you try again. This time you stay further to the side of the column, keeping away from the thickest part where bigger hunters are waiting. The mahi-mahi is gone, and nothing else cuts across your path, so you keep rising until the prey around you thickens and you can feed properly. You work through the column with your fangs striking fast, swallowing each catch before moving to the next, and by the time you start dropping back down, you've eaten more in one trip than you normally would in several days. That's the first migration you've completed, and it won't be your last. You make it back down and hold your position. The migration works, and now you know the route. But the water you've returned to has something in it that wasn't there before, and it's bigger than anything you've run into so far. You're 2 years old now, and you've built a routine. You know which part of the water column gives you the most prey, and you've been working it long enough that you feed well most days. Then another viperfish appears in your space, moving straight toward the same cluster of fish you've already lined up on. It's bigger than you, and it's not stopping. You need to protect your feeding zone or lose it so you don't back away. Instead, you kill your lure, hold your body still, and position yourself directly between the other viperfish and the prey. It keeps coming, trying to push past you, so you lunge sideways with your fangs open and drive into its path. Your body hits its side hard enough to knock it off course, and it twists away to recover. It circles once, coming around wide, trying to find another angle in, but you hold your position and lunge again as it gets close, and this time it turns and moves away without circling back. You turn back to the prey cluster and feed. That's the first time you've held your ground against another viperfish, and it worked. But the encounter didn't come without a cost. During the lunge, one of the other viperfish's fangs caught you along the side, opening a small puncture that trails a thin line of fluid into the water as you feed. It's not deep enough to stop you moving, but it stays open for weeks, and every time you lunge to strike, you can see the wound pulling apart slightly before it closes again. It heals eventually, but it takes longer than you'd expect. You're at your full size now, and other viperfish in this water know it, but something else is about to start, and it has nothing to do with food or territory. You're 3 years old now, and something has changed in your body. You've been feeding and holding your territory the same way you always have, and then one day, you stop. Not because something threatens you, but because something else takes over. Your body turns in the water and starts moving in a direction you haven't gone before, pulling you away from your feeding zone with your tail pushing steadily behind you. You follow the pull for a long time, adjusting your direction as it shifts, with your lure kept dark and your body angled forward. Then another viperfish appears ahead of you, larger than you and moving at the same pace. This is the first of your kind you've been close to since the other viperfish tried to take your feeding zone, and this one doesn't turn away. You need to signal that you're not a threat, so you start pulsing your photophores in a slow pattern along your flank, running the light from your head toward your tail in a steady wave. The other viperfish slows down and holds its position. You circle once, keeping your fangs down and your body angled slightly to the side, and then you move in close and mate. The whole thing is over quickly, and as soon as it's done, the other viperfish turns and moves away with its tail pushing it steadily in the other direction. You don't follow. You turn back toward your feeding zone and start making your way there, with your lure coming back on as you go. Somewhere above you, eggs are rising toward the upper ocean layer. You won't see them again, and you won't know what happens to them. But you've done your part, and now it's back to the water column, back to the migrations, and back to the one thing that's kept you alive this whole time. You're 4 years old now, and the migrations are routine. You know the column, you know the route up and back, and you feed well enough that most days go without much trouble. Then one day, while you're holding your position in your feeding zone with your lure running its slow pulse, a black dragonfish comes into your lair from below. It's longer than you and built differently, with a thin barbell hanging from its chin and a jaw that drops further open than yours does. You've never seen one before, and it doesn't react to your lure at all. You have a fish lined up, and you need to take it before the dragonfish gets there first, so you lunge forward with your fangs open and close them around the fish cleanly. But the dragonfish is already moving toward the same spot, and as you pull back with the catch in your jaw, its body cuts across yours and knocks you sideways, so the fish drops from between your teeth and spins away into the water. You line up on another fish further along and go for it, trying to stay clear of the dragonfish's path. But it cuts across again, this time closer, and as its body passes yours, it opens its jaw and takes the fish straight out of the water in front of you. You lunge at the dragonfish directly, driving your fangs into its side behind its jaw. It twists hard and pulls free, and as it goes, the counterattack opens a gash along your lower jaw that pulls apart every time you open your mouth to strike. The dragonfish moves further along the column, and you let it go. You drop down below your usual position and hold there with your lure off, waiting for the jaw to settle. It takes a long time to heal, and for several days every strike costs you. But the dragonfish moves on eventually, and the column is yours again. You've held it before, and you'll hold it again. What you won't see coming is what moves in from above. You're 5 years old now, and the migration is the same as it's always been. You rise through the water column with your lure off and your body angled upward, following the same path you've taken dozens of times before. The prey cluster is already thick by the time you reach the upper layer, so you bring your lure up and get to work, moving through the column with your fangs striking fast and your body turning between each catch. Then something hits you from below. It comes up at full speed with its fangs already open, driving into your midsection before you can turn. The impact is another viperfish, bigger than you, and its fangs go through the side of your body and pull free as it spins past. The force of it knocks you sideways and your tail stops pushing, so your body starts to rotate on its own with your lure still running its slow pulse above you. You try to angle yourself back upright, but your midsection won't hold its position, so your body folds slightly and the rotation keeps going. You tip further to one side, and then the other viperfish is already gone. Back down into the column below, not waiting to see what happens next. You start to drop. Not fast, but steadily, with your body tilting further as you go and your tail giving one last push that doesn't change anything. The upper layer pulls away above you, then the middle of the column, then the deeper water you've spent your whole life in. You pass through all of it on the way down, with your lure still running faint pulses the whole time, until your body comes to rest on the seafloor. You started here, tiny, see-through, and spinning in the current with no control and no idea where you were. And this is where you end up.